Good evening. It's Wednesday, the 10th of September, and here's what's making news around the world on World News Tonight. Nepal protests. Nepal's Prime Minister resigns amidst nationwide protests. Israel strikes. Israel targets Hamas leaders in Qatar, raising tensions. Young prodigy. 9-year-old marks history enrolling at Pennsylvania College.
From Colombo, this is World News Tonight with Amarsha Fernando.
Good evening once again. Nepal's political crisis deepens as Prime Minister resigns amidst widespread protests across the country. Demonstrators have voiced anger over government policies and leadership, leaving the nation in uncertainty as opposition parties call for swift elections amidst political reforms.
Among the houses and government buildings set ablaze in Kathmandu, there's the home of the Prime Minister, the President, the leader of Nepal's largest party, as well as Parliament. It too was set ablaze. With anger continuing to rage unabated in Nepal's streets against the government, the four-term Prime Minister Sharma Oli stepped down. The 73-year-old was just the latest Nepalese politician to do so, hoping, he said, to quell the anger in the streets. But such resignations, an indefinite curfew, and the reversal of a social media ban, the very one that sparked the protests on Monday, they've done little to stomp out the anger of tens of thousands of protesters. They say government corruption, youth unemployment, and now the multiple fatalities among the protesters have fueled their rage. The spark of the protest was the government's order for social media networks to register officially in Nepal. Those that failed to do so were blocked. The authorities said the move was designed to tackle fake news, hate speech, and fraud. But protesters viewed the plan as a way to censor dissent. After tens of thousands took to the streets and clashed with the police over the restrictions, they were scrapped. But anger remains palpable. The United Nations has called for an immediate investigation into the police crackdown against protesters, amidst reports of live fire being used against them.
Tensions escalate in the Middle East as Israel reportedly targets Hamas leaders in Qatar. The operation raises concern about regional stability, drawing international attention and prompting calls for restraint from neighboring countries and global diplomatic actors.
The Israeli airstrikes in Doha, Qatar were captured by security cameras. One explosion at the back of the targeted building, followed by another in the front. Cell phone video shows people running in the normally quiet and peaceful Qatari capital. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu said the targets were Hamas leaders who have an office in Qatar.
At noon today, I convened the heads of Israel's security organizations and authorized a surgical precision strike on the terrorist chiefs of Hamas. These are the same terrorist chiefs who planned, launched, and celebrated the horrific massacres of October 7th.
He says he gave the green light for the strike after Hamas claimed responsibility for Monday's mass shooting, where gunmen opened fire on commuters at a Jerusalem bus stop, killing 6 Israelis. But the White House tonight had rare criticism of Israel and its decision to hit Hamas in Qatar, neutral ground where negotiations among enemies take place. The Hamas office was opened in Qatar over a decade ago in a deal with Washington's support to facilitate diplomacy.
Unilaterally bombing inside Qatar, a sovereign nation and close ally of the United States that is working very hard and bravely taking risks with us to broker peace, does not advance Israel or America's goals. However, eliminating Hamas, who have profited off the misery of those living in Gaza, is a worthy goal.
The White House saying the U.S. military, not Israel, notified it of Israel's operation as it was happening, and that the U.S. then told Qatar, whose government called it a cowardly Israeli attack and state terrorism. Tonight, President Trump speaking to Netanyahu and Qatar's top leaders.
He assured them that such a thing will not happen again on their soil.
French President Emmanuel Macron has appointed Sébastien Lecornu as this country's new Prime Minister. The move comes amidst ongoing political challenges in France, signaling a potential shift in government strategy and policy direction ahead of the upcoming national priorities.
French President Emmanuel Macron has appointed his defense minister, Sébastien Lecornu, as the nation's new prime minister following the resignation of François Bayrou. The decision on Wednesday comes after Bayrou failed a confidence vote 24 hours earlier, ousting him from the position. Macron swiftly named 39-year-old Sébastien Lecornu as France's fifth prime minister in under 2 years. A longtime Macron loyalist and former defense chief, Lecornu will need to forge a cross-party consensus to pass a budget amid rising social unrest. Lecornu is expected to retain Macron's pro-business reform agenda, continuing tax cuts and pension adjustments, even as nationwide demonstrations loom. A grassroots movement called Bloquons Tout, meaning let's block everything, has planned anti-government protests across France, and authorities have deployed 80,000 police officers to maintain order.
Violence erupts in eastern Congo as government forces open fire on protesters amidst ongoing conflict in the region. The crackdown has left multiple casualties, raising concerns over human rights and the escalating instability in the war-torn area.
Security forces reportedly opened fire on protesters in the eastern Congolese city of Uvira on Monday, with witnesses reporting several injuries and deaths. The protest was a response to the appointment of General Olivier Gassita as deputy commander of the region's military forces. Demonstrators accused Gassita of having connections with Rwanda-backed M23 rebels that have seized large areas of Democratic Republic of Congo's east this year. Hundreds took to the streets to demand his immediate removal.
I am Congolese and I want peace. Gassita should leave. He should show us the boat he came on so we can send him back because we Congolese want peace.
South Kivu Governor Jean-Jacques Purusi Sidiki confirmed that, quote, unarmed protesters were hit by gunfire. He did not specify who opened fire or provide exact casualty figures. Local civil society groups claimed there were fatalities and numerous injuries. Uvira is located in South Kivu province and is currently controlled by a coalition of the military and local militias. It has been a contested area in the ongoing conflict between Congo's armed forces and the M23.
Let's go in for a short commercial break. More world news coming right after this. And welcome back. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen expressed full solidarity with Poland following a recent violation of its airspace. The statement underscores the EU's commitment to member states' security amidst rising regional tensions in Eastern Europe.
European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has expressed strong and unwavering support for Poland, stressing its crucial role as a cornerstone within the European Union. In her statement, she underlined that Poland is not only a trusted partner, but also a driving force in safeguarding Europe's security and stability at a time of heightened geopolitical tensions. Von der Leyen acknowledged Poland's efforts in defending democratic values, supporting Ukraine, and contributing to the broader goals of unity across the bloc. She highlighted that Poland's economic resilience, combined with its strategic position, makes it a vital player in shaping Europe's future. The Commission President made clear that Brussels stands firmly by Warsaw, emphasizing that cooperation, solidarity, and mutual trust will remain at the heart of the EU-Poland relationship. Her words sent a clear message of confidence and commitment, showing that Europe is determined to face challenges together and to build a stronger, more prosperous and secure union for its people.
Heavy rains have caused severe flooding in Bali, leaving 2 people dead and 4 others missing. Rescue teams are working tirelessly to locate those trapped, while authorities warn residents to stay vigilant as waters continue to rise.
On the river, and then suddenly in it. Foundations washed away after nearly 2 metres of rain was dumped in Bali in 24 hours. The island's capital, Denpasar, copped it the most, waterways spilling over. Streets and businesses swallowed and the local hospital without power. The road to the airport a no-go zone. leaving desperate tourists stranded. Rescues have been widespread. Officials say the floodwaters have claimed at least 2 lives. Locals, including a pregnant woman, swept away. Whoa. This was the scene near Qatar this afternoon. Roads still cut off. An inflatable boat carrying shoppers down the street. Supplies carted around on surfboards. Wet season doesn't officially start until October. The early deluge catching people off guard. Crews trying their best to get things cleaned up and the tourist hotspot moving again.
A whistleblower has revealed that Meta allegedly suppressed research highlighting the negative impact of its platform on children's mental health. The claims have sparked widespread concern, prompting calls for greater transparency and accountability from the social media giant.
Today, Meta whistleblowers are testifying on Capitol Hill, and they're saying that Facebook's parent company suppressed child safety research. Several current and former Meta employees gave documents to Congress that claim that Meta attempted to delete unfavorable internal research to downplay any negative impacts. This comes amid a renewed call for Congress to pass the Kids Online Safety Act, which would make social media companies responsible for cracking down on harmful content.
Parents cannot be expected to compete with big tech's rapidly evolving AI-driven products that are designed to trap our kids on screens for hours. That's why Congress must step in. Every day without COSA puts more children at risk.
Now, in a statement, Meta called the whistleblower claims nonsense and said they are based on selectively leaked internal documents, which they say craft a false narrative.
Authorities in Washington state say they successfully prevented a potential school shooting. Police acted swiftly after receiving a tip, ensuring the safety of students and the staff. The investigation is ongoing as officials work to determine the full circumstances.
This morning, police in Washington state say this is the arsenal of weapons found in the home of a 13-year-old boy they believe was planning a school massacre.
Every detective, every SWAT member that went into that home, 100% will say that we stopped a major mass shooting from happening.
The suspect appearing in court Monday, pleading not guilty to multiple felonies. In charging documents, prosecutors say the teen had written threats on social media, sharing photographs holding semi-automatic rifles.
He had everything packed and ready to go, and it likely was just a matter of time before he decided to cause havoc in our community.
Authorities say they found 23 weapons in the home, many of which were unsecured. And there were several handguns and homemade long guns that had been made using 3D printed parts known as ghost guns, a growing concern for law enforcement.
It's concerning to know how many of these guns are being made and whose hands they're going into.
According to police, the suspect was obsessed with school shooters, and the walls of his room were covered with drawings and pictures of past shootings. They say he also had a gas mask and a backpack full of ammunition, including several AR-style magazines, which had writings on them referencing mass shootings.
Time for a short break now. We'll be right back with more world news. And welcome back. A remarkable 9-year-old has made history by enrolling at a Pennsylvania college, becoming one of the youngest students to ever attend. The prodigy's extraordinary academic achievements are drawing attentions worldwide, inspiring educators, parents, and students alike.
At 9 years old, Aiden Wilkins is making history at a Pennsylvania college.
Every little thing I learn just fascinates me.
And feeling right at home as the youngest student to ever take classes at Ursinus.
I just feel like, okay, I'm in a classroom with people more than double my age.
Okay, because this class in neuroscience is helping Aiden focus on what he wants to be when he grows up.
The reason why I want to be a pediatric neurosurgeon is mainly because, well, I like helping kids around my age.
Since 3, Aiden loved watching anatomy videos.
I was always fascinated when I saw, the brain.
Aiden's mom says his genius was evident when he was still in diapers.
He was reading signs and correcting people's sentences, and he was actually correct.
He was promoted to high school at 7, when most kids his age go into the 2nd grade. Now at 9, Aiden is in college 3 days a week and has virtual classes as a sophomore in high school. Part of Aiden's gift is his love of things other kids his age also enjoy.
I mainly like to play video games.
But more than anything, Aiden loves learning.
I'm going to go straight to med school and kind of just see how I do.
One gifted child who may be a gift to all of us.
A humorous moment caught attention as a cat attempted to walk down a moving escalator but failed hilariously. The video shared widely online has brought smiles to viewers, highlighting the unpredictable antics of pets in everyday situations.
In the case of Cat v. Escalator, it's Escalator 1, Cat 0. Watch as this intrepid feline tries and tries again to travel up a descending escalator. It gets part of the way before losing the battle. Undeterred, it makes another go at it. No dice. Cats are known for their quick reflexes and predator instincts. Negotiating moving stairs? Not so much. Of course, we may be looking at it all wrong. Perhaps the cat was just looking to get in a Stairmaster-style workout. Whatever the case may be, it happened in Turkey at Istanbul's airport. Fortunately for the cat, a kind human eventually intervened, picking up the feline and putting it on the right track. That is to say, the escalator going up. The kitty rode it to the top and disembarked. Hopefully it didn't miss its flight.
And with that, we come to the end of today's edition of World News Tonight. With the hopes of seeing you again, I'm Marsha Fernando, and we leave you tonight with the visuals of Copenhagen waterways shining during night swim. Also, don't forget to send us your feedback through email at feedback.ad24english@derana.lk or via WhatsApp at 076-805-7933. Prasansa Gunawardana will be joining you next with the Nightly Business Report. Thank you for watching and have a great night.